Hello, my name is Musa. I go by the username Musa FM. I'm doing this short video to train contributors on the KUSA Wikimedia community on how to do translation on the Translate Wiki platform. So first of all, you log on to translatewiki.net. Translate Wiki is a separate website from Wikipedia, so it has its own website address, and that is translatewiki.net. So you type that on your browser, it opens like this, and you need to log in using your Translate Wiki account. So you enter your username and then your password. Let me keep myself in, then log in. If you happen not to have a Translate Wiki account, you probably need to create one by clicking on Create Account and then following the prompts. The user account or your on Translate Wiki is different from your user account on Wikipedia. So those of you who have Wikipedia accounts, it's not automatic that you can use that to come onto the translatewiki.net platform. You need to create one. And the thing is that you can decide to use the same username on both websites. That is on Wikipedia and then that of Translate Wiki. As you know, my Wikipedia account is Musa FM, and I'm using Musa FM again as my Translate Wiki account. You may decide to use the same password, but the thing is that your account on Translate Wiki is different from that of your account on Wikipedia account. Okay, so to begin translation, members on the KUSA Wikimedia platform has been allocated some groups of messages to translate. So they are on those messages are on your user pages. So all you need to do to access them is to tap on your username like I've done here, and all these groups of messages are there for you to translate. So all these links contain a number of messages called strings that you are supposed to translate into the KUSA language. And at the initial stages of our incubator, we embarked on translation on Translate Wiki, and we did translate a lot of messages on this particular link that is most used or most important messages. So we were supposed to achieve 100% on that before we could proceed as one of the requirements for us to get our Wikipedia approved. So when you come on it, you see that a lot of messages have been translated already. The all here, you see these tabs, all untranslated, outdated, and then translated. The all here gives you all messages under this group of messages that are either translated or untranslated or outdated. All of them are under the all tab. So as you go through, you see a message, and then you when it is checked or when it is gray like this, it means that it is translated. But where you get a message and it is not gray but white throughout here, it means that that message have not yet been translated. Then aside from the all tab, we also have untranslated tab. So when you click on it, it will give you messages that are not yet translated. So on the most used messages here, we have translated almost everything. This is the only thing that is not yet been translated, but that one is not counted because there's an issue on it. It has been flagged. That's why it is not counted as among those translated. Then the outdated here are messages that are translated, but the system have issues with it. Either certain symbols or signs or what we call parameters or variables are not indicated in the translation, so it has been flagged. So it requires other editors to review it and either approve or make corrections to it before it will be accepted as translated. Then the next tab is the translated tab. This shows all messages under this group that are translated. So you can go through all of them here. All the messages that have been translated, they're all here. You can decide to edit any of them. If you tap on it, assuming the Monday here is not, or Tuesday here is not well spelled, you just tap on it. It brings you to the translation area like this. So the Tuesday, the word to be translated is usually at the top here. Then the box here is the translation area. So as you can see the cursor blinking here, it means that you can make edits to the translation here. So when you do the translation or the editing, you click on publish. Yeah, so basically this is what we did under the most used messages, and we achieved 100% of that. As you can see here, we have 99% and then 1% left. So that means that that's what we achieved before we proceeded to creating articles as the requirements for getting our KUSA Wikipedia approved. Now, our project for now, even though we were able to translate all messages under most used or most important, we still have thousands and thousands of other messages that need to be translated. And the reason why we translate messages on Translate Wiki is that finally, as we are localizing our Wikipedia, that is getting the KUSAL or the local language version of our Wikipedia, all the tabs on the home page or the pages of KUSA Wikipedia, all the tabs there at the sideways or at the tops, all the tabs that you see, like all these ones. When we finally have our Wikipedia, the goal is that all those tabs should be appearing in the KUSA language. And those messages are so many of them. We can use 1 day or 1 week or 1 month or even 1 year to translate all of them. But we are just trying as much as possible to translate as many as possible. So aside from most used, most important messages, we have other message groups. These links, there are links to a number of messages that need to be translated. We have vector, we have portals, we have universal language selector. There are so many of them. All the tabs here are links to groups of messages. Yeah, from here up, links to groups of messages that we are supposed to translate. Now, how do we go about the translation? Yes, of course, you need to log in like we have done earlier on. And then just about anybody is free to tap on any message group or any link here to have access to the messages to translate. But for the purpose of accountability and orderliness, we have shared the message groups or links to the translated so that everybody will have a link or a number of links where they are supposed to translate. So assuming you are allocated, let's say vector to translate. So vector is a link to a number of messages that is required for you to translate. So this is the page where you are supposed to do the translation. And the person, somebody have already translated about 97% of the messages and the vector. So, and the tab we are currently seeing now is untranslated. So it shows the messages that are not yet translated. In fact, this will include messages that are translated, but they have been flagged. When the translation is flagged, that means that there are certain parameters or variables that are supposed to be part of the translation, but it is not part of it. It could be a link or magic word or any variable like the dollar signs that we've been seeing and all those things that are supposed to show in the translation. So if it is not showing, it will be flagged. And when it is flagged, it will not be counted among those that are translated. So that is why we see here, there's a translation in KUSAL, but it is appearing under untranslated. So you either correct this one, you edit it, or you do the correct translation there. Now you can, if you are not able to do this one, you have the skip button where you click, it takes you to the next one. So this one too has been flagged. Yeah, probably because certain parameter is supposed to be indicated, but it is not indicated. So so either correct this one or you edit it. You edit it or you cancel it and then do a new one altogether. So and then we'll have the outdated. Yeah, those messages that are translated but there are issues with them, then we have the translated here. I think I needed a page or a message group where we have so many messages that are not yet translated. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Let's use portals. Portals, the untranslated. And of course, because I edit on Dagbani language, the language here is shown as Dagbani. So whatever translation that I'm doing here will translate it into Dagbani. So if you are translating for Kusal, you tap on the language. Sometimes you see English here. I chose Dagbani earlier on, so that's why Dagbani is showing here. So whether it is showing Dagbani or it is showing English, you tap here, then you select the language that you want to translate in. So I'm translating in Kusal. So the untranslated messages and the message portals are showing for me to translate here. So this is the message that I'm supposed to translate. It shows here in English. Then right below it, there's a box called the translation area, where you are supposed to type your translation into Kusal here. So after you are done with that, you click on, let's say, publish translation. Then your message will be published. Then when it is published, it will automatically send you to the next message under portals that is not yet translated for you to translate. If you get to a message that is difficult for you, you don't understand it, or it is too long for you, or you don't feel like translating it, you click on the skip button, then the next message comes up. So the next message that comes up is free code compendium. Compendium. So you translate it here and then click on publish. If you're not able to click it, no worries. You click on skip to next for the next message to come. You see that the next message is free species directory. Yeah, so that is how we are supposed to be. So once the message is translated, it will no more appear under untranslated. When you come to translated, that message that you translated will now be among the messages that have been translated. Yeah. Now, towards the right-hand side of the translation area, we have what we call documentation that gives you description of the word or the sentence or the phrase that you are supposed to translate. We call it source text, the source text in English. Some explanations about it will be given under the documentation area, just to give you a gist as to how to do your translation into Kusal. Another guide that may be offered for you to help you in your translation, other translations in other languages will pop up here. You know, the good thing is that we are dealing with Mabia languages, and most of the words or most of the words or sentences or phrases are quite similar. So it will give you a gist as to how to do your translation in your own language. In this case, Kusal. Yeah, there are people who, even though they are translating for Kusal, they understand other Mabia languages like Mori or Dagbani or Gruni. So from time to time, translations in those languages will pop up here to give you a gist or to aid or guide you as to how you go about your translation in Kusal. Yeah, so these are the things that we need to be mindful of when we are translating. Then there's a way of setting your preferences and then to add the languages that you understand or you are familiar with, or you want the system to show to you like those languages that have already translated these terminologies or these messages here. For example, we will decide to choose Mori and Gruni. There's a way of doing that. You do that in your preferences. Maybe in our subsequent videos, I will show you how to set your preferences so that those languages that you want will appear here. Yeah. So now, aside just using the skip button to provide you the next one, you can just scroll down and all the messages under untranslated will be following each other. So you can just decide to go and tap on the one that you think you can easily translate. So instead of me using the skip button so that the next message that will come out would be wiki functions, I will just scroll down. The list will be showing below the translation area. Then you just go and select the one that you think you could translate at that particular time. So I could just tap here. Then it is shown here as the source text. Then I'll do the translation here. Now, there are certain messages that we are not supposed to translate. Sorry, there are certain things in the messages that are not supposed to be translated, and there are some that are supposed to be translated. We need to get conversant with some of them so that when we are translating, we do the needful accordingly. For example, let me open this tab. I think it's always better to open on a new tab so that this page will still be there instead of going and becoming back and forth. So you see this message. Will receive a notification when someone posts a comment in the discussion. You can adjust your notification settings in preference. So all this message is supposed to be translated, but whatever you see in the curly bracket here, there are certain things that are supposed to be translated, others are not supposed to be translated. For example, the word gender, you see it in caps, gender in caps. So you are supposed to, this parameter is supposed to show in your translation, the double curly bracket open, then gender, colon, then we have vertical, we call it pipe. Then we have so this one will also be translated the U. But the thing is that the system will want to see this, the curly bracket open and then the curly bracket close in your translation. So when you translate, no matter how beautiful your translation is, if the system doesn't see, if you translate all this and the system doesn't see what is in the curly brackets there, I think it's a link. It's a link. So when you are finally done, it's supposed to be a link directing readers or users to somewhere else. So if it is not there, it will mislead people, or it will not communicate the exact idea that it's supposed to communicate. So you translate all this in Kusal, then you just make sure that this curly bracket open and whatever is inside it to the curly bracket close you also show. So you either copy it and put it in your translation. Now, the fact that it's supposed to show in your translation does not mean that it should be at the exact position where it is showing in the English or the source text. You know, grammar rules in different languages, it differ from language to language. So in Kusal, if you are going to start the sentence with this thing, it may not sound well grammatically in the Kusal language. In the Mori language, it may be required to be showing at the middle of the sentence or the translation. In the Dagbani language, it may be required to show at the end of the sentence. So the thing is that this parameter should be shown, and it should be shown appropriately according to the grammar rules or the language structure of your language. But the thing is that the caveat is that it should show. So one way of doing it is in your translation, you copy it and then you paste it where it is supposed to be there. Another way you could do that is, I think you click on this one. You see gender here. Gender is not supposed to be translated, or it is supposed to show in your translation. So when you just tap on it, it will be shown. Now, the thing is that you see that it took everything in the curly bracket, double curly brackets open and double curly bracket close, including gender, which is in caps. That one too, you are not supposed to translate it. But you see the text after the pipe. The text after the pipe is not, that is the word you, is not brought in here. So it means that that one is supposed to be translated. So let's take note. Usually, gender or the text that is in caps, all caps or block letters, that one you don't translate it. But whatever comes after the pipe must be translated. Let's take note of this when we are doing our translations. Okay. I think my language is just showing as Kusal, so of course I need to change it here. Because I use a different, I open in a different tab. It's open with my Dagbani language again. So now let's look at this message also. So we have a very long message, and then a number of parameters are supposed to show. So usually the ones that are supposed to be shown, they indicate it here, so that when you tap it, it will appear in your translation area. And again, those ones are supposed to be shown at the appropriate places in your translation. If it is showing at the beginning of the sentence or at the beginning of a word in English, it's not automatic that it should show at the beginning of the translation of that word or sentence. Put it where it will make sense in your language. Yeah. So, and then I already mentioned that one way you could bring those parameters is for you to copy it in the source text and then paste it where it is supposed to be in your translation. Or the other way is like you are typing, then you know that the $1 should come here. So all you need to do is to tap $1 here, then it should appear. Then you are typing again, $2 is supposed to appear here. Either you copy and paste it there, or you just tap this. So as I'm doing my translation, because it has not yet shown $2, it is flagged. So that means that if I publish this, the message, the translation will be flagged. So unless the system sees $2. Okay, now there are still other parameters in the message that I've not yet shown. So it is flagged again. So the flagging here is a kind of guiding you that certain things are in the source text that is required in the translation, but you have not yet indicated them. So it is just drawing your attention that it's not there. So one of them is, it says the following links are missing. One of the links is this one. Square brackets open, double square bracket open, colon, $1, then square bracket close. So that means that the system is telling you that this thing is in the source text that is supposed to appear in your translation in Kusal, but it's not appearing. So you either look for it and copy it and put it at the exact place it is supposed to show, or so let's see, where is it? It's here. So let me copy and put it and see whether the flag will also mention it. So the flag message on that one has left. Now there's still one other issue. The system is telling me that it is not seeing this link. And again, whenever we are translating or we are editing in source edit, when you see square brackets, double of them opening, then something, then it closes again, square brackets, double of the square bracket, it means that that thing is supposed to be a link. So the system is telling me that it has not seen it in the system. So, and it is really here in the source text. So you copy it and paste it there. The moment the system sees it in your translation, it will not mention it again as a flag. So that means that as far as the system is concerned, if I publish this, it will not have any issue with it again, because the system doesn't understand Kusal. If there's an issue with the translation in Kusal, colleague editors are the ones that are supposed to figure it out and then correct it or draw each other's attention. But the system is able to figure out that certain things are not right, because all these things that we call variables, variables are supposed, or parameters. The system wants to see it in your translation. If it is not seeing it in the translation, it will flag it. If you ignore the flag and then publish, it will not add it under translated. It will still be appearing under untranslated or outdated because the system will not accept it. So these are the things that we need to be mindful of when we are doing our translation. Let's skip again to see. So this one, somebody has translated the whole of this English text, but certain things, something is missing. That's why you see the flag here. And it will tell you what is missing. It will say there is an even amount of parentheses. The parentheses, I think that's the square bracket open. So that means that it is supposed to be 2 somewhere, and the person made it 3. I don't understand the Kusa language, but I think I'm seeing that the square bracket is opening here, 2 square brackets, and the person put 3 square brackets. So let's remove one and see. Oh, that's my So once I've removed it, you see that the flag is gone. So now if I publish it, there will not be flag on that particular message again. So the next one is this one. Now, let me hammer on these things again. Wherever you have this, you see the square brackets opening, double of them, and then the double square bracket, the double curly bracket open, then the double curly bracket close. The text inside site name is not supposed to be translated. Usually I've observed that those things that you are not supposed to translate usually appear in all caps or block letters, site name. So this one, you just copy it and put it in the text in your translation like that. Or if it's appearing down here, just tap on it, it will be put. It will appear on your translation. And it should appear, you should put it at the appropriate place where it will make sense grammatically. And then, so site name is not supposed to be translated. So just pick it like that. And then you Control C, that is a copy. And then you Control V, that is you paste it where it is supposed to be. Let's see. So once I've begun translating, and then you see that the things that the system is supposed to see and they're not seeing them, immediately the system will flag me. Even though I've not yet published, it will flag me. It is drawing my attention that in my translation, $1 should show. So $1 should appear somewhere in the middle of the text. So where is it? So I either copy it and come and place, or I just tap $1. So at that moment, you see that in the flag $1, it is not reminding me about $1 again, because it can now see it in my translation towards there. So the flag will not mention it again. But now what is it mentioning? It's mentioning $2. It means that in my translation, there need to be $2 showing. So I'll continue translating. Then $2 is supposed to appear here. So I copy it and paste, or I tap it here, $2. Let's see whether I still have a flag. Yes, I still have more flag. The system is still drawing my attention to certain things that they are not seeing. These 2 links are missing. So one of them is this one. So where is it? I think it is this particular one. Now, one more thing. This place is not supposed to be translated. Media Wiki, that's the name of a platform. So you don't translate it. This one too, Tempusa help page, that one too, you don't translate it. It's a link. So when you come to, so you see that all these things is a parameter. It's part of the parameter. It starts from here to here. But there are certain things inside it you should translate. Other things you should not translate. I think that's why we should be very mindful of. So Media Wiki should not be translated. Tempusa help page. These are languages that other people and other systems understand, so we don't translate it. Then this page will expire. In that one, you need to translate that one to your local language. In this case, Kusa. But the thing is that the system wants to see the whole of this parameter, and it starts with double brackets here, and double square brackets, and then close with double square bracket here. So let's copy it. And then let's see, it is supposed to appear here. Let's see. Oh, I think the first one it was mentioning was this one, Media Wiki discussion tools and all those things. So that one should have. So let's see. So it's still, because I've not yet done that one, it's still showing in the flag. So let's see. So this one too, do we have something that we should translate and others that we should not translate? So I think Media Wiki should not be translated. And they will have discussion tools, empty states, link user page. That one, I'm not sure whether you should, yeah, you should translate that one. Then talk page should also be translated. Yeah. So what you do is just copy this one and put it in your translation area. Then put in your translation area, then you translate that which is supposed to be translated and that which is not supposed to be translated. So that one is shown. And now the system is now telling me that this one, Media Wiki terms user, that is missing. I think that was the one that we put earlier on. Let's see. Let me put it and see whether it will still be flagged. So I think the message inside it, this one is supposed to be translated. I think that's why it is still flagged. So that is how we go about it. So now we see that the context within which the translation is done here, most of the things, the messages and terminologies are in the context of technology or ICT. So when we are translating, we should have that in our mind. For example, when they are talking about page, page is not as in the page in a book, but it is a page on a website. So we should be seeing that in that direction. And it is understandable that in our language, those terminologies are likely not to be having equivalence in our language. So we are doing this, we as volunteers are the one doing it for now. So when we are doing it, we should have a discussion, consult each other, consult people to arrive at terminologies that will be most appropriate. And then also when we are doing that as a community or translators or editors, we should have in mind that two people are going to be making use of these things. One is we, the editors, future editors, and current editors. The another one is users. There are people who might not be editors, but they may be making use of these things in the future. Now, when you are translating them, have these people in mind, and then ask yourself, if somebody should come across the translation of this terminology, the way we translate it in Kusa, if somebody, a student or a teacher or a researcher comes onto, let's say, Kusa Wikipedia one day, and he or she comes across these things, will those things make sense to them? That is what we need to have at the back of our mind when we are doing these translations. And then as you are doing your translation, your progress, we have what we call the progress bar here. As you are doing the translation, you see that it will be increasing here. So currently, this page, which is discussion tools, the group of messages and the discussion tools is 33% translated. So, and as we are translating, others will review this thing and approve it before it will be counted among the translated. So basically, these are some of the things I think I can remember to remind my colleague editors, especially on the Kusa Wikimedia community, to have in mind or to know as they are doing their translation on the Translate Wiki. So as far as the translation of words or sentences of these things are concerned, all of us are experienced translators. But of course, if we come across certain terminologies that is not familiar with that, we need to discuss with each other on the community pages and then arrive at consensus. But what is very important is those that appear in the links or those that appear in the curly or square brackets. Yeah, you need to differentiate what you are supposed to translate and what you are not supposed to translate. Okay, and you do not need to like doing your translation serially. Like when I finish the first word, I should move to the second word in that order. The first message followed by second message followed by third message. If you're able to translate first, second, third message, the fourth one, you cannot translate it. Either it is too long for you or it is too difficult for you, or you don't feel like translating it. Please make use of the skip button so that it will move to the next one. Or you just scroll down all the list of all the messages that are not yet translated. You just see them there. So you can be going through. When you get to the one that you think you can easily translate, you just go. You are free to go and to jump ahead and go and take a page that a message that you can easily translate. But I'm just particular about the things that we should translate and things that we should not translate. Like this one, start discussion about subject page name. So subject page name is a link, so you are not supposed to translate it. And usually what I've observed that the things that are not supposed to translate are usually appearing in capital letters or block letters. So you translate start discussion about that one, you translate it, then whatever is here, just copy it and paste. Now when you come here also, yes, I was looking for something like this. You see inside the curly brackets open and close, you see gender, which is all caps. So you don't translate gender, but the text after the pipe, that is welcome. You need, so even though it is welcome is in the curly brackets open and curly bracket close, usually the text that comes before the pipe, this sign, this long vertical pipe, the text that comes before it or the text to the left of it, you don't translate it, but the one after it or to the right of it, you translate it. So here, gender is not supposed to be translated. You copy the same thing. So usually just copy the whole of the curly bracket and close. Then you come gender, you maintain it, column, you maintain it, pipe, you maintain it, then welcome, you translate it. Then the rest of the text to your temporary talk pitch will be translated. When you come to here, start discussion in bracket gender, curly bracket open gender, column, curly bracket, page name. So again, you see that there's a pipe here. So everything before the pipe or to the left of the pipe here should not be translated. Then when you come after the pipe, width, you translate width. Then you copy the whole of this also and paste. So that one too, you don't translate it. Now, when you come to here, I'm just particular about the things that you should translate and those you shouldn't translate. That's why I'm taking time here. Now, when you come, gender, I thought it was the same thing. It's quite different. Yeah, so you copy the whole of here. Let me just tap it so that it will show in the translation area. So you just copy the whole of here inside your translation area, then you paste. So it's welcome that you will translate. So you can highlight it and then replace the translation. Then the rest of this, you will continue it here. So that's it. Sometimes instead of copying and pasting, so when you realize that the things that you are supposed to not translate are many. So instead of you copying them one by one, you can just click on paste source text so that it will paste, it will copy and then paste the whole of the English text that you wanted to translate like this. Then you only go to the area that you are supposed to translate and then replace it. You either select and start typing or you highlight and you just delete it and then you type your translation. Like here, this message here. So assuming that is the one that I'm translating now. When I come and just click on paste source text, it will copy the whole of this and then paste it for me. So like this, I tap paste source text like this. So you see that everything is there. So instead of me to be copying them individually and be pasting, this one makes it easier for you. Then you now go to the area where you are supposed to translate and then translate it, delete or replace it accordingly. But again, remember, this gender should not be translated, page name should not be translated. We have pipe. The message or the text after the pipe, you translate it. Yeah. This is quite technical, but I hope that we are making sense of this short video. So let's see here. Let's see here, this one. Okay, let me see. So this message, you see that the whole of this, yeah, I think this one, you can't translate it. So just leave it like that. And then when you come to here, so here you have gender, something, something, use. So you see that the gender shouldn't be translated, but there's a pipe. So the text after the pipe is the one that you're supposed to translate. Okay, let me get one more example. This one. So everything here should be translated. All of this should be translated. Then when you come to what is in the curly brackets, open and close here, plural should not be translated. $1 should be brought. Then pipe should be brought. Then page should be translated because it is coming after the pipe. Then we have pages. So we have page. So I think they want to design to bring singular and plural there. So you should translate it accordingly. Let's see. Let's see. So this one, the message is in brackets. So when you are translating, you should also, so this one you are translating everything, but your translation should also appear in brackets. Then you publish. Yeah, what again? So let's see this one. So please provide a title for gender, something. So gender, so you should bring the curly brackets open and close here. Everything there should be copied in your translation, but gender here should not be translated. After the pipe, we'll have your should be translated. Then when you close the curly brackets, double of them, discussion topic. If you click, so that one too should be translated. Then you, so okay, let's see it in the translation area. So what you would translate is, you will translate the whole of this. Please provide a title for, then you translate it. Then you bring the whole of this. It should appear in your translation up to the end of the curly bracket close. Then pipe should be brought, your should be translated. Yeah, then you continue with the translation, discussion topic. If you click, then you bring here. So note that here, they are bringing the whole thing in quotation marks. So you should also let it show in your translation like this. But is there something there that needs to be translated? Yeah, discussion tools. Okay, so I think this one cannot be translated. So that is it. And of course, you should always look at that box towards the right hand side of the translation area. Suggestions are there. You look at them, then it will guide you in your translation. So like this one, we have warning message. So it is describing what this message is about. So it's a warning message shown when leaving the title for empty while adding a new topic to the page. So it is just giving you an idea about what this message is about. And it's also telling you that we should copy this. So usually when you look there, it is also telling you the things that you need to just copy and then put there. Okay. Then sometimes it will add the translation in other languages. Other times if all the provisions there are not helping you, it is asking you whether you need more help. And then when you click on this link, it will take you to a page where you can find more help. Let's look at this last example. So we have $1, gender, this, all this. So $1 should appear. Then the whole of this should appear in your translation. But inside that curly brackets, open and close, gender should not be translated. $2 should appear. Then we have the pipe here. After the pipe, we have replied. Replied should be translated. Then in should be translated. Then the whole of this should be brought the same way. By the word strong, strong here should be translated. Yeah, then you publish. Yes, I wish I could give as many scenarios as possible, but time wouldn't. I don't want the video to be too long. I didn't intend for it to be this long, but so if after this you send clarification, you can contact the team leads for assistance. So this one, replying on $1. So you translate the whole of replying on, then you bring $1. If $1 doesn't appear here, your message will be flagged. And it will appear like this one. So this one, outdated. It means that somebody translated it, but certain parameters are missing. What is missing? The flag will tell you. It is telling us that the $2 is not shown. So that's the reason why it's flagged. So until somebody correct this one, assuming the correction is I add this, then I add the $2, the flag will go. You see. But I'm not sure whether what I've done here is the right thing, so I wouldn't publish it. So let me leave it as it was. So the native speakers of the language should see this and then correct it. So I think that is just about all that I can remember on this thing. And I think I'll end the video here. Like I said, if you need any clarification, you can contact me or any of the team leads for assistance. Thank you very much. I hope this gives us some help. Bye-bye.